Good evening, race fans, and welcome to Lakeland, Florida for the running of the Red, White, and Blue 100. We're live at USA International Speedway on iRacing. I've got Jackson Hartman and Dylan Body in the booth with me. It should be a great show, guys. What do you expect tonight?
Man, I don't expect to see the same green flag runs we had last week. I mean, 75 laps of green, I'm not sure. I mean, especially 100 laps of green here, I don't think is possible. Hoping for some more side-by-side action. Hopefully closer action than we saw last week. Allen's looking fast here out of the gate. I'm curious if anyone's going to be able to catch him on the long runs.
Yeah, I was just going to say, definitely don't expect this to be spread out like the big track was last week. I think this is going to be a lot more banging and beating, a lot more fun, and we'll get to kind of see what some of these guys that we're not so familiar with are made of.
Yeah, well, you guys mentioned it last week. Let's take So that was Tyler Snyder coming away with the victory, sat on the pole, led most of the race, had a little bit of a challenge from Corey Blevins before he had mechanical issues. Ryan Potter was a little bit of a threat, and I think if maybe some caution fills in the right spot, Alan Kunman would have had a chance for him as well. But you mentioned it, Jackson. He might be the guy to beat tonight, talking about Kunman.
Yeah, he's fast out here, especially out of the gate. I remember practicing this track last night, and it's definitely tricky. Your tires are super loose when they're super cold. It's definitely hard to be fast. I think easy to be consistent, but hard to be fast here. And there's a very specific line that you have to run that's going to be hard to master for a lot of these guys tonight.
Dylan, did you get a chance to see what the fuel runs might look like?
That was one of the things I really wasn't actually paying attention to when I went out with the car there. I was more so just trying to get a feel for the way these guys are going to be dealing with cold tires on these restarts and the way the car wants to handle. I don't feel like wearing the tires out is going to be as much of a big deal as we might think, just because it's a cool night here. But this 2 car, I've heard a lot of people in the driver chat asking him if he could remove the nitrous bottle from the car, please. So these guys know that he's gonna give them everything he's got.
Well, Kunman's always fast. You think of him in the Premier Series. I think he dominated our Martinsville race before our booth mate here went victory lane there. And of course, his one win coming in the Highline Racing League was when we ran ARCA cars at North Wilkesboro.
Yeah, he was definitely the car to beat, him or Corey Blevins at Martinsville. Like I said, the fastest car did not win that race, but I'm still happy that I ended up in victory lane somehow.
Well, Jackson, your success has led you to the point where you can't compete full time in this series. The rules we put in place for the development series, 2+ wins in the Premier Series that we run on Thursday, and you are ineligible to run in this development series -2 races. So limited schedule will be interesting to see when we see that 19 car of yourself out there. I know you mentioned the Roval might be one of the races you go out there and run, but I'm sure you'll be a factor in whatever race you choose to run.
Yeah, I definitely have the Roval circled on my calendar just because, I mean, I love road courses personally. We had a league road course race at the Long Beach last night. I mean, I finished second, but the guy who won definitely knew what he was doing because he beat me by 50 seconds. So I'm looking forward to that one. I don't know what the second one will be. Maybe just one, maybe 2. Atlanta might be interesting.
And if we look at the board, Brad Kress just went to the top of the leaderboard.
Yeah, fast lap. Well, we were watching him here on the monitor here. Is our cameraman working down there, Toby made sure we had the angle in the car we needed to see. But considerably, like 200ths of a second. I mean, nobody had been within about 4 or 5 hundredths of getting the Cummins time. So it's pretty impressive to see somebody shoot at the top by that big gap.
Now, when we ran a practice session last night, I was able to go out and get some laps, and I noticed that the times dropped significantly the longer the practice went and the track cooled off. So I wonder if it's a matter of that, and maybe Cummins out there getting a long run, or if Brad Kress really has figured something out and might be a factor here tonight.
I definitely think that I agree with him on the first part there. I think Alan was out there for a while because I was actually just watching him, and he just had the car break loose in the corner and finally went to pit road to put some new rubber on it. So I think he was trying to get the long run, maybe estimate on the fuel mileage like you were asking about, and the 29 was out making qualifying type runs.
Yeah, so one of the things that we took care of this week was we were able to grab a word with the founder of the Highline Racing League, Toby Wedgwood. Wanted to show you guys that interview. He kind of talks about the state of where we are right now at Highline, and I think you'll enjoy it.
Following is brought to you by the Highline Media Network.
And we're live here at Highline Media, getting ready to interview Toby Wedgwood, founder of the Highline Racing League. Toby, thanks for joining us.
Hey, it's a pleasure to be here.
Well, first and foremost, tell us about the Highline Racing League and how it came to be over back in 2011 when it first started.
Kind of started it, back in 2011, like you said, to just have a place for some guys to get together and do a little bit of racing on Xbox and just kind of race for points. Back then the lobbies were kind of crappy online. You'd get wrecked by a bunch of randoms. So we wanted to start a racing league to have some clean drivers and some good competition. So it just kind of evolved into that. Had a few seasons on there, and it's kind of evolved into what it is today.
So what is it that makes the Highline Racing League so special?
I'd have to say the different personalities that we have in the league. I mean, we've got people that are in the NASCAR industry that we've met through different contacts. It's cool to have those guys around, with their insider info and stuff. And then you've just got normal guys that work 9-to-5 jobs and race with us on the weekdays and practice and hang out with us. And it's just cool to have a kind of a melting pot of personalities and just everyday people. Just a cool way to meet other people and make friendships that, I mean, with today's technology and the way things are, making friendships with people you've never met in real life is kind of different, but you kind of feel closer to them than some people, in real life. So,
well, tell us about what is Highline Media?
Highline Media is something we've kind of came up with the past year or so. We're wanting to dive into like streaming and broadcasting races, podcasts. I'll probably spend like some graphic design stuff off of that eventually. Just a bunch of different kind of racing related media that we just want to have fun and put out there for people to consume. So I think it could turn into something great. We got a lot of good partners, a lot of good sponsors, a lot of good guys and talented individuals that help push this thing along.
So where do you see both Highline Media and the Highline Racing League in 2 to 3 years?
I mean, I'd like to say we're one of the better leagues on iRacing, and I would like to kind of be up there with the top leagues on iRacing. And Highline Media, I mean, I just want it to be fun first and foremost. I mean, I still want to enjoy doing it. I don't want to become monotonous and become, I mean, it is another full-time job pretty much, but I just don't want it to become unenjoyable. So I want it to be fun. I want it to be able to put content out there so people can listen and watch and have a good time with it and still have fun doing it. And I mean, my personality, I want to be the best at everything. So I want those to be the upper echelon of racing leagues, and I want to be one of the better esports media outlets out there. So,
and if you had one message to all the development drivers that are coming along for this season, what would it be?
Don't get frustrated. Stick with us. We have a lot of good racing. I know starting out on iRacing can be rough, but just stick with it. Practice. Practice is the biggest thing on iRacing. You have to practice to get good and to get faster. And I'm glad you're with us. I'm glad you guys found us and just spread the word, and it'll become one of the better leagues out there.
All right, guys. Well, that's Toby Wedgwood. Appreciate you joining us, Toby, and best of luck here in the following weeks with the Premier Series.
All right, I appreciate it. It's I'm glad you had me on.
Interesting stuff there from Toby Wedgwood. Man, that guy works his tail off to make sure this league is here week in and week out, providing great action for you guys to watch at home. We got a special treat in the booth right now. We got Alan Kunman. Jackson, you want to ask him a few things?
Yeah, sure. All right, Alan. You were top of the board for so long. Do you feel like you still got the speed to beat the 29 car?
Oh yeah, definitely. I was comparing lap times. It looks like I don't know, it feels like I'm better on the long run. As long as we can get some long runs in, I'll be fine.
Well, that's good. I mean, how'd the car feel in the long run?
It's great. I mean, it's beautiful. The only word I can describe it. It just floats right into the corner. It rotates so well. It's beautiful.
You know, and what you just said there is exactly what it looks like. I was watching you there on that long run there for a little while, right before the 29 took you off the top of the board, and like, you got one of the smoothest looking and sounding and rolling cars to the center of the corner, and I think that might be the advantage you got over there.
Yeah, well, y'all know the short tracks have always been my best thing. I don't know. I guess when it comes to like technical tracks where you have to have like a special technique or whatever you want to call it, it always benefits me well. So hopefully we can have a good run here tonight.
So, I gotta ask, because I have no clue. Did you happen to see how far you could go on a tank of gas?
I did not. I did not even think to see that.
Yeah, we
That's
threw you a
2 for 2.
curveball. we actually made it 50% fuel, so you couldn't pull the old North Wilkesboro like what happened a couple seasons ago, where you didn't even have to pit and won the race.
Yeah, I got you. Now, usually with short tracks, I really don't even think about, fuel mileage and all that. So it's just, it didn't come to me.
And Bucky Burt is underneath
Bucky
Corey
appears to
Blevins.
be upset with his teammate Corey Blevins.
Thank you, Alan. We appreciate you joining us, and I have a feeling we'll probably be talking to you later in this broadcast.
I mean, hopefully. Sounds good.
All right, good luck,
Good luck
Alan.
getting
Have
the
a good
pole
race.
here. So, guys, any specifics about USA International? I feel like it'll be a great race if they can get that second lane worked in. I know late in the practice yesterday, you were able to make some passes on the high side, and man, this will be an exciting show if they can get that lane worked in.
Yeah, 100%. I think it'll definitely be hard. They'll have to try and keep trying, and the first few people who try it are probably going to get burned by it. But eventually, someone's going to figure it out, and they'll make it happen. I think, like you said, by the end of the race, that might be the move.
And right now, we got our camera focused on Robert Poulins. We'll have to see what kind of a lap he can put down. I know he's been pretty successful in the short tracks. I want to say his best finish in the Premier Series came at Nashville early in the year, which is another short track.
Yeah, I mean, this track is... I don't know how about that second's going to go. Personally, I don't feel like right on the bottom is the fastest lane, so if you can get to someone's outside and pin them to the bottom, they just won't be able to get any run off the corner, so...
Yeah, I can definitely agree with that, Jackson. I noticed when I was out there turning some laps early in the session that if you can't get from the bottom to that wall, you really have to be careful with how you get into the throttle.
Yeah, no tri-oval at this track, so the turns are definitely going to be tight if you're stuck there on the bottom. They're tight as is without having to go to the bottom, so that's a very good point, guys.
Yeah, that wall comes fast, so what I noticed last night is just kind of diving into the corner and diamonding it, just run a little high in the middle of the corner and just try to arc it on exit the best you can to get as much straightaway speed that you can.
It's going to be a tough lap to beat. Alan Kunman puts down a 21.29.
Well, that was a horrible qualifying lap.
We hear Robert Pullman's a little disappointed with himself on the driver team. very unhappy with his performance.
Press starting his second lap. Yeah, I mean it's so hard because you want to get back into the gas, but you can't because that wall comes so fast.
And for Cress here, I mean, I know whenever I go out qualifying, I want to go out and lay down a solid lap on lap number 1 to really try to attack for the pole on
Oof.
lap number 2. So we'll see how he does.
He ran real high through 3 and 4 and was unable to make anything happen.
Yeah,
My
let's
Yeah,
see.
we got
goodness,
a
on lap
6.50.
1,
Basically the two almost identical laps.
that's
6.83
really
and
tough when you kill
6.50.
3 and 4 on lap 1 because it's going to hurt both laps, you know.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
definitely the absolute worst case scenario trying here.
Right, it's looking like a lot of people are struggling. Just the tires you're not gonna get it done on your first lap. You gotta get it done on the second. So looks like a lot of people are struggling with that right now. So he might not be too far back, but it's gonna be exciting to watch.
Do have some good news here, though. We have gotten confirmation that we do have microphone access to Brad Cress in the number 29 car tonight. So if he is involved in the battle for the win tonight, we will be able to talk to him. We were having some communication issues.
I think we should bring him in right now. You want to bring Brad in?
Yeah, why not? Let's bring him in and give him a talk.
Dylan, you got Brad. He's in here.
Brad, how you doing tonight, man? Oh, is he here? Brad, you got us?
Brad!
Oh, maybe
here.
we jumped the gun.
Uh-oh.
He did just finish a qualifying run. He might be handling important business.
All right, let's see if we can get Dylan Smith in here. Is he in
back,
here?
talking to his team about how that went. Oh.
Dylan Smith, it's your namesake with a different last name up here in the booth. You got me, bud?
Hey, what's up?
Hey, man, how you doing? You see you come out here and look like you found some speed here. Looks like everybody's struggling a little bit here to hit what they hit in practice in this qualifying session. Can you give us any kind of input on what's going on out there?
Well, yeah, a little bit. Just hard to get it to stick down to the bottom. It's all about slow in, fast out. That's really what they try to teach you right here in Rookies on USA, is that you've got to be slow in and get a good run off the exit. But just getting that balance right, especially with the different track temperature. Practice was started at sunset, so as the track's been cooling for a half hour, so our times have been changing, and so getting in here, I think a lot of people weren't ready quite so much for that change, I guess. That's my first thought.
Oh, yeah, that would make a lot of sense. Yeah, I hadn't even considered that it had been so long since the practice session had started. That would actually make a lot of sense as to why everybody's a hair off here. But yeah, it's, so to me, I haven't been here with the series very long, but you're a new name over here for me, so I just want to say welcome to the party. Thanks for coming out to hang out with all of us and run out here.
Thank you so much. I'm a new name to the party.
Hopefully you'll be involved in the race here as we go, and we'll be able to talk to you again before the night's over, bud.
Absolutely, just gotta keep myself in there.
Well, yes, sir. Slow and fast out. Take it easy and stay smooth out there.
Thank you very much.
I'm going to try and sneak one more interview here pre-race with Trevor Hook, run the third fastest line, or the third fastest lap, I'm sorry. Put Trevor up here. Trevor Hook, this is Kendall Kerr in the booth. You got a copy?
I got you, Kendall.
Hey, buddy. Third spot on the qualifying here, race number 2. How'd you get that lap done?
Yeah, I think the key here is just to really get the car to land good on entry and kind of let it roll to center. And obviously on exit here, it can get a little squirrely, but just managed to put a good lap together there in qualifying. And I think for the race, the key here will, just obviously be to keep it in one piece. And we'll see how it goes.
Awesome. Well, I know you guys are gridding up right now, so we'll let you go. Hopefully we'll get a chance to talk to you at the end of the race. That's Trevor Hook, another one of our new guys in the 84 machine. Keep an eye out for him.
Thanks, guys.
Is Brad back? Is he actually back, though?
Brad, you got a copy?
Brad, no. And he's gone. All right. Well,
we'll
Don't
get a hold of
worry.
Brad at some point. We're having some serious technological issues.
before the end of this one, we got to talk to Brad.
We will
Hey,
make
let's
it
go
happen.
through the starting lineup real quick. We've got Alan Kunman sitting on the pole, Tyler Snyder to his outside. I'm sure he'll probably be a threat as well. Trevor Hook starting third in the 84 car. DJ Stagner is fourth. Fifth is going to be Corey Blevins, and sixth, Jeff Morash. Starting seventh in the 24 will be Dylan Smith alongside Carl Faust in the 12. Victor Valley debuts tonight in the car number 16. Brad Kress will start 10th in the 29 car. We know he had speed early.
Starting 11th, we got Andrew Siegel. Starting 12th, we got Cody T. Robinson. Starting 13th, you got Danny Chandler. And in 14th, you got Robert Polans. Starting in 15th, everyone's favorite driver, Bucky Burt. Starting 16th, you got Caleb Morrissey, who made it. Showed up a little late, but he's here. Starting 17th, you got Andrew Thomas Baker. Last guy to put a qualifying lap down, starting in 18th, is Steve Rada. 19th, first guy to not put a lap down, is Jeff Gross. You got, looks like Ryan Potter starting in 21st. Adam Bossi starting in 22nd. Then Dylan Pote starting in 23rd.
And probably what happened to some of those guys in the back is they probably just scraped the wall and didn't have a lap count, or like you said, maybe they were actually being conservative and just want to avoid the carnage that potentially could happen here on lap number 1. These guys did a great job last week. I can't wait to get this one started.
Like the only guy I can see who didn't get a lap in is Adam Bossi, while the other guys just didn't even try. Like we also got Ryan Potter, I believe, starting from pit road.
Interesting strategy. He was one of our contenders for the win last week, and I thought he would have a real shot at this championship. So hopefully he'll have a chance to get a caution early and get caught back up to the field. That's a tough break.
Yeah, I mean the pit road is pit road's not the longest here, but this track isn't the longest either. It's not going to be easy to get out of there.
No, I mean he might just be banking on an early caution, just doesn't want to get caught up in it.
Yeah, I could definitely see that, but for me, the fear would be that I'd go 2 or 3 laps down, and I might not even be the first car lap down by the time I get that first car.
Yeah, it's going to be scary because I know he was struggling with the track, so no matter where he comes out, if he happens to come out in front of leaders.
Pace car's down. Alan Kunman launches off for the start. Tyler Snyder looks like he's going to be able to clear Hook for second, and they're off into turn number 1. Kunman's going to hold the advantage.
Great start by the 2 car, but Snyder gets a great run through too off the corner.
Looks like they were maybe 3 wide. My goodness, Morrissey's able to hold on to it. Was that Chandler sideways? Oh, we got a big mess in the back, and with no fast repairs, that's gonna hurt.
And as we see Ryan Potter pulling off of pit road.
Oh,
it was
no.
the right
call. Behind the pace car though.
There's no front end.
Like it started back there. I saw the 13 get sideways. Morrissey was up high. Oh, the 3 got the 13, and Morrissey was right there.
The 3 got a great run off the corner and just.
Oh, and Bucky, the worst possible spot to be on the track right there. Nowhere to go. Toby, can you get us on board with Bucky? And really a great save by Morrissey. I think he's going to be all right through all this.
Poor Bucky. Wrong place at the wrong time.
Yeah, you hate to see it for a guy like Bucky. He's always out here bringing lots of loyal viewers over here in Highland.
We're riding on board with Caleb Morrissey. Watch this save. You know he's a dirt track ace, and it come into play right there. Nowhere for Morrissey to go, nowhere for Bucky Burt to go, and the entire track block for some of these guys that got a poor qualifying run.
And that impact for Bucky is just blindsided out of nowhere.
Yeah, here's riding on board with Bucky. You see the contact, it goes low to miss it, and
yeah, man, you see the car shoots high. He thinks he just got to move low and he's good, and then out of nowhere.
Hell, y'all get a chance to see Bucky Burt show on Spotify. You'll have to check it out. Bucky and his team do a great job bringing entertainment from the NASCAR world to us on Spotify. So Bucky Burt, fan favorite and great podcast host as well, out early. So Alan predicted it. A lot of yellows. Give these guys a chance to catch their breath a little bit here. But, man, it looked like a clean start up front, but went so bad so quickly.
It's looking like maybe starting from pit road might have been the move there, boys.
Yeah, Ryan Potter comes out ahead on that one. I mean, he'll be at the back on this restart, but I mean,
I think
honestly,
I'm
it
going to
might
try
work
and
out
bring
for him.
Bucky up here and see if we can get a word with him. I'm sure he's not going to be thrilled.
That's a bird range up.
Hey, Bucky, you got a copy, buddy? Bucky Burt, this is Kendall Kerr in the booth. You got a copy?
Oh,
And
no,
not sure
just
if
like
he
Brad.
not sure if he can hear us or not, but maybe he's just that upset. I mean,
Oh.
honestly, you can't blame him because he was just minding his own business and got taken out, and that was, I'm
Yeah,
sure,
hey.
a lot of damage.
You really hate it. Not even a handful of laps into a 100-lap race to get taken out like that, especially in a series that's it's gonna be so much fun with such a spread out level of competition here. You get a lot more probably racing with higher position guys here than you would in the Premier League. This is gonna be a shot to show off and have some fun on the block, and then you're out making the laps as well.
Yeah. You know, you got to give a call to Trevor Hook. We got the Sobe car. I want to say he was somewhere in the early teens of Michigan, and maybe he's the next short track ace coming through the ranks because he's got his car clean. And look at that old throwback paint scheme.
I
What do you
know,
think
what
of
a
that, Dylan?
classic.
Is that Norm Benning or is that Andy Hillenberg? I think I said Andy on the broadcast last week.
I
But
believe it's Andy.
getting ready to go green. We'll see if Cunman can get the jump again. Snyder kind of pinches him
Great
down,
start.
but Cunman
Allen
gets
got him
another great
again.
launch. You know, Snyder's probably just trying to get to the bottom as quick as he can.
Yep,
And
he
he
gets
got
down here.
a great run off of 2 yet again.
Yeah, he's definitely got something.
And DJ Stagner's been able to clear Trevor Hook for 3rd.
Blevins.
Oh,
Oh,
no!
He gets
no,
in
he
the hook.
hooks around.
Looks sideways, and there's the caution. Oh no! Oh,
Man,
Bucky Bird
That
is
is-
not pleased. Bucky
man,
is showing his displeasure.
Yeah, there's a lot going on in the driver channel here. Guys are not happy with each other about all
That
the
is
plowing.
not
involved in this.
family friendly. Oh,
unfortunate there. That's a very
rough
tough
start.
break for those guys in the back marker.
My heart's a little broken right now, Kendall. I just watched my pretty number 78 SP Designs car that, you know, isn't exactly cheap get flipped over there. That one hurts the old bank account.
I know team owner talking with us right now. SP Motorsports still in body. And Bucky's bad luck continues.
Yeah, poor Bucky.
Man.
He tried to come out and salvage what he could. It gets caught up in another one.
And you know what? Bucky probably, had he missed that wreck, would have almost been in the top 10. I mean,
if he had hit that one, he would have been better off than he was before the last wreck, and it might have balanced out. But unfortunately, just
it's
nowhere
fair
to go.
for Bucky to be mad, but I think he's going to come away okay with not a ton of damage from that one.
And look at Bucky. He pulls the old Martin Truex Jr. I've seen Martin Truex get spun out on so many short tracks, and he just revs it up in frustration to get the car turned around. Oh, you got to feel for Bucky once again. But these guys up front probably just wanting to get the racing going.
Yeah, these guys probably just want to get 5 or 10 laps in, get into a groove, start hitting their marks, kind of settle in, and let this thing unfold. You know, you can't really do much when you only get a little sprint here at a time.
So the exact opposite of the scenario we had at Michigan last week, where we go caution-free, we have yet to make a green flag lap tonight.
Well, you didn't have to put it like that, Kendall. Just make us all sad.
Let it go, but gotta bring it up.
Yeah, we just had to make it a big deal.
So that wreck started with the 84 and the 28 getting together. Not sure if Trevor Hook checked up just a little bit or if Corey Blevins continued his hot streak of running people over from North Wilkesboro in the Premier Series.
It looks like Blevins got a run, and the 84 didn't know that he was filling the hole on the bottom and just tried to come down, and there wasn't room anymore.
Yeah, that did kind of look one of those
Kind of
deals
looks
where
like a racing deal. Looks like the 84 was all over the 64, moved up to avoid him, and then tried to come back down in the 28 and filled the hole.
yeah,
And then everything else is just a product of that slow spin, and the car's just in the middle of the racing surface for so long.
Siegel had the save of the race last week. Let's see what happens here. Watch the 5 car. I'm riding on board with him. Man,
Ooh, boots, scooting boogie. There he goes.
2 weeks in a row, he's going to win the SP Designs Good Hands of the race.
For sure.
Wow, that's
I didn't think that was going to go as bad as
everybody
it
in
did.
front of him and everybody behind him got a piece of that.
How's the guy sponsored by alcohol the best driver in the field?
Oh my goodness.
Awesome job though. You can't give him enough credit for that. That was impressive. If I would have tried to put my car in the dirt right there, you best believe I'd have been the car upside down at the end of that wreck.
It looks like they're getting ready to go green. The pace car is off, and Alan
Don't look now, but Crest back in third row.
He did catch a piece of that last crash. I hope it wasn't too bad. I mean, we are.
It looks like the left front's a little bend in, but nothing too serious.
Making a move, trying to go for second, but just can't get the run off that Snyder can off the top.
Yeah, Snyder definitely seems to have a little something on the outside. And the problem with this is they're just going to let Allen drive away if they don't soon figure this out amongst themselves.
Yeah.
Oh no, Brad Kratz is sideways.
Oh, Siegel doesn't make it through that one.
I think it started
a hard
on the
impact and go all over.
I think that started with Brad Kress in the 5 car. Something happened with the rear of Kress and the front end of Siegel.
That was the worst net code I think I've ever seen.
Yeah, I saw
This car
it
just gets jumped to the right as if he touched the 10.
I mean, I wonder if maybe Kress is having internet issues.
Oh my goodness.
I noticed in practice a few times
rough.
his car appeared to be dragging suspension and throwing sparks through the whole corner, but obviously the car wasn't bottoming out.
My goodness, you are not kidding, Jackson.
That was horrible.
Yeah, that was bad. Like, I've seen some bad net code, but that
reminded me of the one from, I think, 2 seasons ago with Toby back when he was using the hotspot, where you could drive a tractor trailer through the gap between the 2 cars.
Wasn't that Pocono? Kentucky. Oh, yeah.
I knew it was the night race, but
Toby
and for Alan Kunman and these guys up front, they're just thinking, my goodness, how long is this race going to take tonight?
And don't look now, but our team's a little misleading here at SP Motorsports as we're running whatever we got. Victor Valley in our number 16 Ford Fusion is creeping up into the front of the pack here. And want to give him a shout out.
What do you mean, like, whatever you got? Like, you're throwing minivan motors in these things? Like, what?
If it passes tech, it passes tech, Jackson. We don't ask questions.
We look away. It passed, all right.
You ain't cheating, you ain't trying.
That's a great looking paint scheme by Victor. He had sent that to me earlier. It's kind of a tribute. It looks like the Bobby Allison in the old AMC Matador.
It is. It originally was the Matador scheme, and then we got it that it needed some aggression, so it was given this little modernization.
You make great paint schemes, whoever you are. Dylan Body, Courtney Miracle, they always look great.
I didn't make that one, Jackson. Victor did.
Oh, he made it?
Oh, Victor, you see his sponsor there, Slipstream Creative Media. That is Victor's brand.
Oh.
Victor is actually assisting us in our learning of how to do our own broadcasting. So shout out to him. Victor is the head director for the Automotive Sports Network. We do the Sim Racer Coin NASA Rallycross Challenge on Wednesday nights. On ASN TV USA on YouTube. Feel free to check us out and come see what Victor can do outside of the race car.
Yeah, I did check that out the other day, and y'all put on a great show. If we can learn even 1/4 of what you guys were doing, we'll be in great shape at the end of the season.
Oh, we're going to get there.
So I think we got 2 green flag laps in on that last run before the 84, and or no, that wasn't. That was the incident before it. So it was before the 29
Before
net
the
code.
net code struck.
So some guys that have worked their way from the back to the front. You had mentioned Victor Valley. We see Jeff Gross is up to 8th.
Carl
Cody
Faust,
G.
didn't he start
Robinson,
12th?
I think he did.
12th car? He's up here running 7th right now? Pretty good.
Yep.
Steve Rada there, you know, a little caught up in that first incident. He's back there running in the top 10 now, just picking his way through these wrecks. Not too much damage on that car.
I mean,
Dylan, you want to call him to the green this time?
No, I like you doing that.
All right, pace cars off, and we'll see if Alan can get one of those trademark starts. Tyler got a much better one that time, but I'm not so sure. He's not thrilled the 64's there because he's going to want to tuck behind the 2. He does clear the 64, and we'll see if he gets the run off of turn 2 he's been getting all night.
I don't know. That 2 car's fast.
And look at the
He's getting a great run
16
into the corner.
throw it in there underneath Robert Poole. So despite the incidents, a lot of guys' cars look like they're in really good shape.
Ooh,
So
3
the
wide.
short track must be helping those guys out quite a bit.
Yeah, I mean, luckily the highest speed we're going to really see was about 128 to 130 or so. So, I mean, maybe the G-forces just aren't enough to really destroy these things like we're used to seeing at the tracks.
And right now, my screen's focused on Brad Kress. He's already made his way behind Ryan Potter, and he's in a giant.
Oh, car sideways into the wall. Looks like it's just a 1-car spin, though. Adam Boston with 27.
I don't know if he got tapped or if he just revved it up a little bit too much going into the corner.
No, it definitely
Yeah,
looks
looks
we have
like
a little
Jeff
bit of
Morris in
contact.
the 15 tapped him. Did he keep it off the wall?
I don't believe so. Oh, I think he did. I mean, if he did get into it, he didn't get into it hard.
Well,
Yeah, he
these
backed
guys
into
are successful enough in this development series, especially the ones that don't run with us full time on Thursday nights. They're able to earn their way into the Premier Series. We've got a little promo that we'd like to show you for our races on Thursday night.
The following is brought to you by the Highline.
And of course, that series is going to be running at the Super Speedway of Daytona International Speedway on Thursday, so you know that's going to be a great show.
Super Speedways, and I've never really gotten on.
The question is, do you hang out in the back or do you go up to the front and have fun? And that's always a hard battle to deal with in your head.
I don't know, Kendall. What's the strategy, teammate?
I know in Alan's truck series, I had some success staying around the back, but man,
I think
it's
back
fun
to
go up there and run.
The last season in the Premier League when I made my my first little run out there with y'all, and we went to Talladega. I think we had the strategy, it just didn't fall in our favor at the end. I feel like Daytona's a whole different animal.
Yep, a lot more narrow of a track. Of course, going 3 wide is a lot more sketchy. You almost want to reserve that in that out of control Xfinity car for the tail end of the race, because you can't really hook together and push in that car. You want to get as close as you possibly can to somebody's bumper without actually touching them, which always makes for an interesting race. So Pit road's going to be not very fun to get down, but that'll play a key part in the race. And I think we'll know very, very early on in the race if it's going to be a wild one or if it's going to be calm to the end.
Yeah. Even if it's calm to the end will certainly be wild.
You know, of course, 2 green-white checkers in both this series and the Premier Series are run. We might need both of them. We might need both of them tonight, the way this thing's going.
Right? Yeah, I was gonna say we definitely might need them here.
And Jackson, why don't you get them to the green this time?
All right. Cummins gotten such great starts every time around, but maybe it'll be something different. All right, pace car pulls off. 64 lagging a little bit. Cummins gets a great start off the line and just pulls away like he has all night.
Busted him this time.
And Tyler's been able to get those runs off the corner, and he's able to do it again as he puts it up within half a car length.
As good of a start as Allen got, I think Tyler got his best run off of 2 all night.
And DJ Stagner able to clear Dylan Smith for 3rd and 4th back there. Guys are already single file most of the way back through, so seems like they've kind of settled down for this run.
Gets hit going into that.
Seems like these guys have to calm down. They're sick of stop and go. It's time to settle in for a little while.
Now, you got to think that's going to turn up the intensity up front. I don't know if these guys are going to have to pit. We knocked the fuel all the way down to 50%, but didn't count on this many yellows. And look at Snyder as he's able to beat Kunman through the center of that turn 1 and 2 that time.
Yeah, Tyler seems to be figuring something out. He spent a lot of time back here just kind of biding his time and seeing what he's doing. So he's probably got the best team.
Dives in on the 24th. Clears him.
And something
through.
Wow.
Something wrong with the 24th. He's blocking.
Oh, he might get turned by Rada, but no, not this time.
And something interesting about Tyler Snyder, he actually lives in the town that this track was built in, Lakeland, Florida. Of course, has been disassembled since then, unfortunately, like so many racetracks around the country. But what if he was able to win in his home track, like hometown track?
Yeah, I remember Tyler. He had his he was talking about, I believe he said he lives about 5 minutes from the track of this whole track.
Yeah, I think that would probably.
Track. That's literally the backyard.
Yeah. As we see him, he's still able to maintain just a half a car length behind Kunman. And side by side, back in the pack, we've got Carl Faust looking underneath Corey Blevins. Blevins able to get the run off the high side as there's still no Carl's going to tuck behind him as they head back into 3.
And just my personal input here, I don't think that DJ Stagner is really trying to run down this front two. I think he's kind of just hitting his marks and being patient here because some laps he appears to gain, some laps he appears to lag back a little bit. It doesn't look like he's overdriving the car.
Sometimes he just vanishes for a second, but he's there.
He appears to be smooth, and he also appears to appear.
Yeah, he's magical. Now we just gotta find El Diablo.
3 cars slapped the wall off of turn number 4 that time. You know, we talk about it all the time in these ARCA cars, how if you get too close to that wall, it's like a magnet, pulls you right in.
I noticed that. I learned that in practice a lot.
Yeah, just the way they're skewed, once you get into it with the right rear, it just sucks it in. It's so hard to get it off the wall.
And Caleb Morrissey has actually driven his car all the way into 7th spot right now. I don't think he had hardly any practice, and he's probably finally starting to figure this track out. We know he'll probably be quick at the end of this one.
Yeah, I think Caleb might have turned 3 or 4 laps in practice before the session ended. He didn't join until right before the wall.
I mean, I'm assuming it doesn't really matter, but he has the freshest tires out here.
Remember, I think they have just 2 sets here tonight. And obviously nobody up front has pitted at all. So they've got all 8 tires sitting on pit road. Yeah, Siegel must have some damage or something. He's not able to keep the Crown Royal car pinned down there on the or the yellow line. As Kunman's going to clear him this time. I think Snyder will probably be underneath him as they go in.
That one caught him in a bad spot there.
Yeah, it's going to help Tyler. You can see him almost switch into attack mode there as he got a little bobble into the corner. You can see him turn up the aggression.
64 and the 16 also caught him at a real bad spot. We talk about not being able to come off the bottom all the way to the wall. That probably cost him a couple of tenths right there.
I mean, for the most part, this top 5 isn't really getting away from each other. You see Dylan Smith in 6th. It's kind of starting to lose ground to him.
Dylan was fast last week at Michigan and also finished 2nd in the final recruiting race at Charlotte. So he's definitely one to keep an eye on. I think he's really good at saving his stuff, so maybe that's what he's doing right now.
Yeah, you know, he seems to be very dialed into the patience. That was what he preached in his pre-race interview.
So what do you do up front right now? Do you consider pitting with just 2 sets of tires down there, or are you staying out all the way here? What have the lap times fallen to? Do you know, Jackson?
Let's see. Your leader last time by ran a 21, almost a 9. So I mean they're dropping, but I think this track is more of a your tires. It's going to slow you down kind of track. So I think if you can get them cooled back down, you'll be okay.
Looked like the 84 caught the 15 on the entrance of 1 and 2 there. That's Trevor Hook getting into the back. Maybe it started there with Andrew Baker hit the wall and might have stacked some of these guys up a little bit.
I know on my screen I'm seeing the 15, I believe, just disappear and then reappear sideways in a corner.
On my screen, he gets hit by the 84 who attacked the corner and then gets finished off by the 84 right after he hit
pulling
them.
into pit road at the last second there.
I don't dislike the call because
I think
if you're going to
the right call, because now look, you have 6, 7 cars up here, 3 or 4 of them are probably pretty fast, and everybody else.
And he's going to beat all these guys off pit road.
Not going to beat Dylan Smith.
Smith got him. I don't know if he pulled through his pit or what. Wagner thinks he's in front of him, but I think it's going to make Smith come around.
I think he just didn't have a great spot to let him by yet.
Yep.
Yeah, let's let Dylan interview him. That's his buddy.
Oh, Stagner sped. He's got to let everyone by.
Oh, no. He had the right strategy.
Yeah, just... wonder if it was speeding?
Or maybe he's just trying to not have people behind him.
Well, he exits pit road at 40 miles an hour when pit speed is 35.
Oh, yeah, they got him. They got him.
They got him good.
Whoa, whoa, Victor Valley! What's man doing, buddy, up here in the booth? What's going on, buddy? How you doing?
Not much. Just kind of been vibing here. P3 right now in the Slipstream Creative Media Ford Fusion.
Yeah, we see you up here quietly working your way up here. Do you think you got anything for these front guys?
Maybe. I mean, it's going to depend on strategy. I think it's going to come down to that. We just have about everybody from Dylan Smith on back pit, so it'll be interesting to see what we can do here, and hopefully we can get the 16 victory lane tonight.
Yeah, it'd be awesome to see you here come out in your debut and show out.
Yeah, absolutely.
Look like there's some guys that are really blinking back there. Has that been a problem, Victor?
Not for me per se. I think the 64 was blinking a little bit on that restart, but I think we're pretty much set here, and we're just gonna keep doing what we're doing. And as long as we're in front of those guys, I don't think it's gonna be that much of an issue.
Well, you got a great looking car out there tonight. Keep it all in one piece, and we'll be watching you in the booth.
That's the plan. Thanks, guys.
Good luck, buddy.
All right, that's Victor Valley, and of course, I think he's one that, you know, had he made race 1, he would have been a championship threat. I know he practiced with us in the Xfinity cars and was fast.
This is he actually told me this is his fastest stock car on iRacing.
Oh wow, well that's a scary thought because I know he was quick in that Xfinity car at North Wilkesboro. It looks like they're coming to get the green here again. We'll see if Valley.
Let's not even say if. Let's just go ahead and tell you, Alan Cummins is gonna hit the gas and take off, and he's gonna leave us. I did. I messed it up because I heard it the wrong way.
I'm telling him.
And there he goes. He got a great restart that
like
time.
clockwork, but Victor also kind of got off the line there. I don't think Tyler's gonna be able to get back
to the outside.
Wow.
What a move!
I don't know
That
if he's
was
going to be able to
impressive. They're
pass him.
side by side as they head down into 3 and 4. Can Snyder drive it in harder than Kunman and get the run off of 4? Kunman's not going to be able to drive the car all the way to the wall. And who's going to lead the lap?
Snyder leads the first lap of the race.
And that's a big bonus point for our championship leader. That was an impressive restart.
I don't know how he's able to pass him with his balls hanging out the back. I mean, that must add some weight to that thing. Oh, Poland's into the outside
a lot
wall.
of sparks in the back, guys. Is somebody
Oh,
dragging
Dylan
metal?
Smith sideways. Carl Faust doesn't hit him, but he spins onto the apron.
What a race up here. 2 laps side by side for Tyler Snyder and Alan Kunman.
Smith on the pit road.
And we saw Tyler Snyder go head-to-head with 2-time Cup Series champion Kyle Busch on the outside at Charlotte a couple weeks ago, and he's putting some of those lessons right back to the test, but you know he's burning up tires. If these guys are trying to make it without pitting, that's going to hurt, as Kunman
This is
finally does clear him.
everything that Victor wants to see back there. Is these
Oh,
guys
he just
eating
went
up the
high.
field.
Victor
You
just
let
went
Morris-
high, and Morrissey's on those fresh tires.
Yeah, he knows what Caleb's doing. He's not gonna mess with him. That's not his move right now.
Yeah, I mean, the rest of these guys have been out here for 49 laps, while Morrissey's been out here for 8.
And Tyler Snyder just stalking Alan Kunman right now, but I don't know if he's aware how fast that 6 car is behind him. As
It will carry so much speed to the corner.
Yeah, boy, you can see the difference. We didn't know how big of a difference it would be, especially with all the caution laps, but oh my, that 6 is moving to the center.
I don't know
Look how
long
much
it's gonna
lower
take
he's
till he
able to
glides
get
out.
through that corner. As we hit the halfway mark that time by, Alan Kunman has led, all but 1 lap where Snyder was able to beat him to the line.
Snyder just came over team communication and asked if Morrissey had tires so he could get out of the way.
Morrissey did not respond and has since passed.
And there it goes, Morrissey. Not quite able to clear him, but I think Snyder will let him go.
But this is going to bring in an interesting point in strategy here, guys, because these guys might be good on gas and might have been planning on not pitting. And if this thing settles down now and goes green to the end, they cannot pit, and they're never going to catch the 6 car if he gets out.
No, you're right. Morrissey, that might have been a blessing, getting in just slightly involved in that
This
crash.
Strategy, whether accidental or intentional, may be.
We've seen it so many times at the Cup level where a guy will get spun and end up like off strategy with somebody and then end up the leader out of it because of cautions just falling in the right spot.
Yeah,
But
you know, you see it a lot of the time go the wrong way for the driver, but every now and again it works itself out for you. And we might be seeing that unfold here tonight.
yeah, and Morrissey
Kunman was
had to
faster
pit.
than Morrissey last time by.
Morrissey, in that first crash, he dirt tracked the car the whole way through the corner, so you know those tires were destroyed, but it was a heck of a save.
I mean, I wonder if he actually took tires on that first run. Like, if he still has a set in his back pocket.
Oh, he had to have the way he drove up through the field. I mean, one of those guys, like they were standing still.
So on lap 47, Caleb ran a 22.171, the fastest lap of the session. Oh, no,
That
never
is
mind. That's a
not
22, not a
correct.
21. I'm wrong. I'm dumb.
I'm like, man, 22 seconds and that's the fastest
That's
lap?
the fastest lap.
I'm
We got real
getting
slow.
out there.
But no, he's been running about 21.5 to 21.17 here for these last 10 laps, it looks like, and I don't really think that it's any faster.
He's trying to recover from a speeding. Yep.
Yeah, Alan and Caleb are just kind of exchanging. One lap, one's faster, the next lap, the exact opposite. There's not really a whole lot of fluctuation.
Stagner's the next closest car on fresh tires.
Trying to get up there that fast. And he went too quick.
Dagner going underneath Corey Blevins right now and clears him right through 3 and 4. The difference in the tires is just so apparent right now.
You can see the difference in the overall speed here. Like now you can visually tell these guys are going slower than they were earlier. Out of it. You can't let the leaders go by. He's a new guy. He doesn't think that.
And of course, we saw he's that bright 78 car, great looking car, and unfortunately ended up upside down in the big crash we had early on.
Don't remind me, Kendall. It hurts.
Yeah, I saw Dylan out there painting that thing with highlighters before this race started.
That's a good looking car.
You know,
Stagner drives it in really hard under Pullins. Pullins gives him a little bit of break on the exit there. Oh,
both of them a little out of shape off the corner there.
Meanwhile, up front, Kunman has not given in to Morrissey, and I wonder if the tire advantage has kind of gone away for the 6 car. I'd be so curious to know how they're doing on gas.
Yeah, I wish I could.
Allen is still, at this point, 1 to 2 tenths a lap faster than started.
And Brad Press has pulled it behind the wall. Looks like connection issues for one of our fastest guys in practice. It's a tough break for Brad.
Yeah, really unfortunate to see. He definitely had some speed and would have been a contender in this thing if his connection hadn't let him down this week. Hopefully next week will be a little better.
Yeah, unfortunately, those connection issues just kind of go down as a mechanical failure, just like they do in the real world. If you lose a transmission or have a rear end go out on you in the middle of the race, that's kind of how they're viewed in our league. In the Premier Series, we do throw away our worst race, but with just 8 races in the season, we couldn't implement that rule for the season. Hopefully next season we'll get that implemented.
And that's the beauty of this developmental series. Lots of new faces, lots of new things to try, new rule sets, and we can experiment with things that we want to try in the top series. And, it gives you the opportunity for growth.
Ooh, and this everything.
Yes, you took the words right out of my mouth, Ken.
I don't even
saw the 29 was sitting there, already pulled it behind the wall. I saw out next to his name. But I know a lot of the guys on the radio were really complaining about his connection issues. Maybe if he had just had enough hearing about that complaining and pulled it to the... Oh, no, there's the problem. That was it. Smith and Pullins both got into the wall, and I don't know if iRacing just kind of sensed that there was 2 cars in the wall there and threw the yellow or not.
With the connection issues we've been seeing tonight, maybe it's just another one of those freak netcode things that's happening. And because both cars were in the wall in the same relative area, maybe
So I think you'll see every single car pull off down pit.
Yeah, I think even the guys who already pitted, they know these other cars are going to pit. You got to come now. Now you got to come down and you got to give it everything you got. And we have a couple non-takers.
I mean, I don't think I wouldn't.
Are they lead lap cars though? The 22 and the 28 still in the lead lap?
Wow, bold strategy. We'll see if it pays off for him then.
I really thought you were about to call us Cotton.
See if it pays off for him.
So we have some very old tires. Staying out.
Is Dylan Smith still on the lead lap?
Yes.
He did pull down pit road after he spun.
Oh no, 2 laps down now. It looks like he just might have retired or lost it. I think we should try and get Caleb in here. Oh, he's not here. DJ, it's Dylan and Kendall and Jackson up here in the booth. You got us, buddy?
Yes.
Well, got a pretty ride. She looks pretty fast. Looks like you're just kind of being patient out there, not really burning up what you got. You think you got anything for these guys here in the end?
Oh, well, really, it's just been trying to be clean and consistent. Top 5 car for sure, I would say. But it's really hard to say what's going to happen. Everybody really wants to go for it.
Yeah, we saw all those cautions early on. Fortunately for yourself, you were able to miss most of that. Tell us how bad the tire fall off seems to be.
You know, it's really not bad early in the run, but it seems like you hit a point and it's just a wall and you just fall off the earth. And it gets really bad at that point, maybe 5, 6, 7 tenths off.
Well, you didn't speed that time, so that was obviously nice.
Well,
what happened the first time that led you to speed?
Oh, well, the first time is I had a little bit of optional damage and I was getting it repaired and I thought I had enough gap to beat everybody off the road, and I was going 38, so I thought I'd just be able to zoom straight out, but I slightly miscalculated it and got the speed penalty.
Well, you very slowly, and I mean, you're doing a great job making your way to the front. It's going to be exciting to see what you can do as this race starts to wind down.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting.
Yeah, good luck, DJ. We see you're coming to the flag, so we'll let you roll.
All right, thank you.
Yes, sir. Good luck, boss. Well, Kendall, you want to walk us into green this time, since this might be a restart that's not a given?
Yeah, sure will.
Only one car who stayed out still out there.
Jeff Gross has stayed out. And of course, leader gets to go. That recent rule changes. He gets a pretty decent launch there on the inside. And you know he's got Morrissey coming with a head of steam, Cunman on his outside.
You know, judging.
Oh.
And now.
Big spin at the bottom.
And the more of these he can get, the better he's going to be.
And you know, I was just thinking.
Still backwards down there.
Looking at his car, it appears that they used a can of.
It was the 84 of Trevor Hook and the 5 of old Andrew Siegel.
Oh, the poor 5 cars just.
I mean.
Well, he used all of his luck on that first one because that was some of the. I mean. Wow, that was bizarre. Looked like he switched lanes before the restart and didn't know the 84 was there. He just drove right into him.
And then the 84 gets loose and just overcorrects and takes out the 5. I mean, not a lot of contact into the wall.
Yeah,
I thought they were going to get a
both
lot
guys
harder
will be
with
all right.
there carrying.
We're just going to lose 5 laps of caution again, which is unfortunate for some of those guys that are 3rd, 4th, 5th here, need those laps.
Yeah, I mean, one guy who wanted to see that was Jeff Gross, because.
And I tell you what, we did get an interview this week. I don't know if Toby's able to pull it up with Tyler Snyder, speaking of the hometown kid, last week's winner. Get to know number 00, Tyler Snyder. All right, so some rapid questions. What's your favorite emoji?
Probably the laughing crying one.
Favorite sports team?
Florida State Seminoles.
Favorite NASCAR driver?
Ryan Blaney.
Salty or sweet food?
Depends. I'll say sweet generally, but sometimes salty.
Instagram or TikTok?
Right now, I would have to say I'm enjoying TikTok a little more. That's
favorite movie or TV show of all time?
I'm pretty basic. I'll say Talladega Nights. I know it's a basic answer, but I love that movie.
And what would a development series championship mean to you?
Oh, it actually mean a lot. You know, to be the title of champion would mean a lot. You know, it would mean more than you would think. I need to have that title by my name. You know, I want to continue my racing career into real life. So hopefully maybe champion next to my name would help me out with that.
And you might not be eligible for the series forever.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I got to get it done this year.
All right, well, that's Tyler Snyder on some quick questions here. Appreciate you joining us, Tyler, and good luck the rest of the season.
All right, yeah, you too, man. Thank you. Appreciate it.
And that's Tyler Snyder of Lakeland, Florida, as we race here at Lakeland, Florida tonight. Snyder's last week's winner, currently driving in the 3rd spot. Hasn't had many laps to make a run at Cunman, but did provide the most exciting action up front so far tonight when he was challenging him from the outside lane.
Yeah, and not even just challenging. He was there for 4 or 5 laps, giving it everything he had on the outside, and then eventually backed off and got back in line. He realized he couldn't finish it off.
Yeah, this is going to be.
So
you got
here. I feel like this is the first time we're going to get to see Snyder restart on the bottom. If Morrissey and Cunman are into a battle here, watch for the 0-0 to take advantage.
Maybe he'll just drive through someone. Who knows? This might be exciting.
I think it's certainly going to be exciting. We just don't know in what sense yet.
Yeah.
And Victor Valley has done a great job keeping it off of everybody tonight, but now it is go time. It is time to press the gas pedal because we haven't been able to get laps in, so you just have to attack every single one of these restarts we get. You don't know when it's going to be the last one. It's going to be exciting.
Yeah, for sure. And Victor is no slouch. He is definitely a wheelman when he has to be. He's just very good at being patient until he needs to stop being patient.
And I'm going to be interested to see if Caleb Morrissey can do the same thing that Tyler Snyder did on that one restart, because Morrissey is a dirt track guy. We know he's going to want to fire it off the outside lane and get that big run off the exits that we've been seeing. We might have the most exciting restart that we've had all night right here.
Well, I know wall riding is viable, obviously not allowed, but I mean, maybe he'll just feel like doing it, who knows?
And the Ford Mustang pulls off. It'll be interesting to see when Kunman launches. And he goes early, kind of catches Morrissey a little bit off guard. You know, Snyder's not going to want to let the 6 get to the bottom as the double zeros almost going to clear the 6.
Follow him down inside the 6.
Ooh,
Morrissey sideways. Oh, we got one
pinning into the inside wall.
Man, Ryan Potter that time. Looks like he just got to the throttle a little bit too aggressive there, and it looks like Bucky Bird's around.
Looks like Bucky Bird also spun it.
It's been a long night.
Hey, shout out to
Bucky
Bird's team out here, though, getting a front clip pin back on that car and making it work.
Yeah, I saw him run out on track and grab it.
Yeah, those guys are
lost it going into
that's
the
brave, but it may not be the most intelligent move.
Hey,
well, I heard that
gets the job done. You can't lose those pieces. They're expensive.
I heard Blue Oval Motorsports was recruiting some IndyCar pit guys coming from the Indy 500 just to snap those front ends on. So maybe that paid off.
Hey, you know, that's a smart idea to get some guys who have experience in a field where you replace parts rather than just beat on them with a hammer. That's smart.
Yeah, well, after that aggressive restart by Tyler Snyder, look, now he's going to be restarting on the outside here. 23 to go. If you're Snyder, do you try to just tuck it back into the 2, or do you go after him, that move that you've already tried?
If I'm Tyler, I ran 45, 50 laps and then tried to go to the outside and almost made it work. I got fresher tires now. If he gives me the outside, I'm giving him everything I have.
If Dylan Smith gets the lucky dog, is that going to put him back on the lead lap?
I believe so.
Yes, I believe so.
Man.
Yes, Dylan Smith, lead lap.
I just want to see a bump and run. I want someone to move someone out of the way.
We got 22 laps to go, Jackson. You'll get your wish, bud. It's fine.
I better.
It's gonna happen. I
better
can tell
be
you
that
right
16.
now, I know for a fact Tyler Snyder will move the 2 if he has to, and I'm pretty sure the 2 will move Tyler Snyder if he has to.
Oh, the 2 would definitely move Tyler Snyder.
And it'll all be in good fun. And, you know, maybe not between them, but for the rest of us.
I mean, maybe it's all going to happen, and then Victor Valley's going to win this race.
Hey, listen, I got a Ford, 2 Toyotas, and a Chevy in this race, and if any one of them comes across the line first, we're partying.
I mean, I'd hope
The question is, which execs are going to be joining you?
I believe that Scott is a little tied up with his young child. So
well, I'm talking about which manufacturers executives.
Oh, none of them. We run Dodge Motors. We just don't tell anybody.
Hey, it's
the old zombie Dodge.
Like you said, he's just putting it together.
Well, you see what the 2's doing, right? You know why I'm running Dodge Power?
No.
There's a reason behind every decision.
I think Tyler Snyder has to drive every single one of these restarts the way he did that one earlier, just because we're not getting enough laps. So he does not need to be worried about burning tires off. You got to beat Allen on one of these restarts.
If you can come across the line 2 inches ahead of him like you did earlier 15 laps ago, and then the caution comes out, well, guess what? Now you can book the field. You get to do this entirely different than you have all night, and that's going to be the biggest advantage you've had yet.
It's just impressive. Anybody that can make a move on the outside. I think of Tony Stewart's move in the 2011 Martinsville race when he passed Jimmy Johnson on the outside. That was one of the most incredible driving talent displays I've ever seen in a Cup car. So it just, to me, it's always impressive when you can make the outside work on a short track, unless we're talking about IRB, of course.
I mean, let's be real with you. You count the 6, you can't count the 64. The 10 cars showing speed at times like this can really get
These cars off, and Snyder tried to time it.
Snyder's tried to time, can't
Cunman goes
baited
late.
him the whole way.
And he's going to clear him and then some.
Oh.
Snyder's really in a
Oh,
good
they're
spot,
going.
though.
Oh, he turns
Oh,
him. Turns Caleb. Oh, no.
Well, Morrissey is not happy about it.
That was fair.
The following is brought to you by the Highline Media Network.
It looked like from our angle on that one. Here's the replay.
Yeah, you just went for a 3-wide move there. Got too
Man.
high into the back of the 6.
The 6 was trying to get that great angle, but you can see the 10 coming up. I mean, he just drove it in too deep.
Yeah, Robert came on team communication and apologized for that. Said that was all his fault. He just messed up.
Yeah. Well, it happened.
Sometimes it happens. Nothing you can do but just keep on going now.
Yeah, you got to put it outside your mind, and of course, it's going to be on the forefront of Caleb Morrissey's mind. I'm sure if he can get back up to the 10 car, he's not going to cut him any slack.
I don't think it's an if. I think it's does he have enough laps to do it when we go back racing here?
Well, does he pit?
Well, if he does, he'll be back in the front in 3
left.
laps.
I think you're right, Jack. I think he's out of tires.
Yeah, I would believe that anybody who had pitted before the 2 car and the 0-0 took tires is probably out of tires at this point.
A couple guys showing into the screen right now. Andrew Baker in 6th and Carl Faust in 7th just had quiet nights, stayed out of the messes for the most part, and they find themselves running 6th and 7th here late in the going.
I mean, if people just keep spinning each other out of the top 4, they're going to be in the top 5 before they know it.
Yeah, then they'll be the ones getting spun out.
Everyone gets to do it.
You get a spin. You get a spin.
Top 3 have been able to keep their noses clean all night. I'd be shocked if any of them even have an incident point.
Yeah, that's the thing you're noticing that I've noticed too, Kendall. Is like the only 3 really fully clean cars are the 3 that have been out front.
Yeah, no doubt about it. You stay in front of that mess. It's obviously the best spot to be, and we'll see that on Thursday at Daytona as well. I mean, as long as the big one happens behind you, you made the right move to stay up front. But it's that middle area where all the calamity's happening.
Yeah. I'd really appreciate if you'd stop talking about Daytona. I'm trying to not think about it until Thursday. Yeah, it's going to be scary.
I rode 2 leagues currently, and the other one I finished 2nd 3 weeks in a row, where in this league I don't think I've had a top 10 in the last few weeks. So,
Well, but it's always fun to go to a race knowing that everybody has about the same.
Hey, Kendall, do you know
thing
what the name of the race Thursday night happens to be? Can't quite
That
remember
is going to be brought to you by none other than the greatest designer on iRacing, Body Shop, Dylan.
All right, don't say that. We here at Body Shop do not endorse what Kendall just said. We may be good. We are not the best. Please, all my friends who are better than me, don't come and find me.
I'm just biased because he goes out of his way to make me phenomenal paint schemes time in and time out, and I appreciate you, Dylan.
Oh, we appreciate you making it look good out
Sorry,
there.
flowers.
Qualifying on poles. I certainly can't start first in any of these races, so it's nice that somebody.
Yeah, I finally got to actually lead a couple laps in it.
Here we
car's
go.
off. We'll see if Cunman can hold him off once again, and Victor Valley finds himself in 3rd. We'll see how much he presses the issue.
I
Snyder
think
does
Allen
not.
waited to fire to see if he could get Snyder again, and Snyder was a little more patient this time.
Snyder will see if he can get one of those patented great launches off a 2. It looked
Here he
good
comes.
from this angle. As Cunman
They trying to make a move at the bottom of the corner. They're unable to get it done.
Oh, Tyler drifted up the track a little bit. Oh,
We
no.
got the 7 cars backwards.
Snyder drifted up the track just a little bit.
Yeah, he was about to fall victim to. Victor
Turned by
Valley.
Dylan Smith. Here we are. We're gonna
Jackson,
do it
do
again.
you happen to have a chart of who has the freshest tires?
Well, I mean, no, I can tell you that well, yes, Jeff Gross in 9th has been out here the least amount of time. Corey Blevins and
Yeah, looks like maybe Siegel trying to make it 3 wide. Oh, gets the apron. Oh no, that was the 24. I apologize to Andy Siegel if he's watching this. Somebody said the 5 on the radio. He had nothing to do with that. That was the 7 and the 24.
Hey man, I just want to give another shout out to Steve Rada here in the Extra Life. I just wanted to let him know that we up here in the booth are proud of the performance he's putting on tonight.
Yep, hadn't seen him involved in much of the mess at all. Looks like a clean car, and that's going to pay dividends at a short track for sure.
fake pitting with 10 to go, I don't think.
I don't know what that was. Was he trying to get someone to hit the pit wall? Maybe.
I don't know what he was doing, but there's
Well,
not many people that I think
Tyler. He'll
still
try
have
anything
tires.
to get you off your game. I heard him earlier yelling out that Pullins was dropping fluid.
And another patented move from Tyler Snyder is always driving to the right or left of leaders in front of him to make sure his sponsors get some TV time. So look at that body shot.
We thank Tyler for that.
Someone's got to put these Dodge engines in these things.
Yeah, we gotta get some ad time so the company can keep making money, so we can keep paying for these 20-year-old Dodge motors.
Later.
Well, it's quiet.
We apologize for some of the technical failure right now. We're trying to develop into one of the best broadcasters as well. So we got this 8-race stint to try and get some of the kinks worked out. But appreciate you, Dylan, jumping in the booth with us tonight. Of course, Jackson, if he'd have run tonight, I know he'd have had a chance to win because he was the fastest in our practice session last night. So I know he's going to get a chance to go out there and run at some point.
Yeah,
Dylan, we hope to see you out there as well.
He was rubbing in that how fast he was. He was watching me drive laps in practice and just criticizing me the whole time, man.
Well, always. I want you to be better, Dylan. So I gotta tell you that you're doing bad. So I gotta be better.
We're actually,
you don't like the big plate tracks, Jackson, but I think you should come run Talladega in this series because I'm gonna run it, and the Roval is also on my schedule of races to run.
I'm gonna run the Roval too.
Toby, they're getting ready to come to the green here, buddy.
That sounds like a date.
Looks like you're half speed.
Not too sure what's going on.
I think you're live now. I think you're good. Good.
Yep, we seem to be back now, Toby. I think you got it.
All right, pace car getting ready to duck off. We didn't miss any of the action.
I don't
we'll see what
waiting this time, guys.
No.
Oh, man.
There he goes.
Got another good launch.
Senses the corner 7.
So does Pullins in 4th on the outside. Not going to give Victor the clear
3 can't
racetrack.
stick to the bottom. Almost gets into Carl, but he goes high.
They're really going at it mid-pack.
Morse is doing everything he can to get back.
Oh, my. Snyder is there.
Oh.
Snyder.
No, Valerie threw it
Victor out of the way.
And Pullins, that wasn't Victor threw it in there to try and get clear and slid up.
Carl touches Ryan. Ryan sideways into the outside wall. He spins.
No. And Kunman coming over the radio, very displeased with the lack of green flag laps we're getting in tonight.
Well.
Yeah, somebody made it 3 wide. Looked like maybe it was Jeff Gross down there, but it is go time.
Yeah, I mean, with such little laps to go, you gotta make it happen. And because the 16 was so slow for so long, it was building up for a while. Yeah, I mean,
and now Snyder's got to throw absolutely everything he has because I think this might actually be the last regulation green flag restart.
Well, that just means we have 3 more.
At least we are 2 to go here. I think we're going to overtime, boys.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, he's got to take everything he's learned tonight and every advantage he's found and hit them all perfectly to have a shot at this.
Burke gets a lap back.
Well, next week we go to Atlanta Speedway. Of course, that's going to be rough on tires. Atlanta Motor Speedway. Reuben Smith, I apologize for missing your
come on,
your motor in there. But that's a really fun track to drive in general. But in these cars, they really are just made for that track. So
yeah,
I know
and I think
myself.
You're going to get to see like the cream of the crop out of this developmental series there, because we're finally on an intermediate and a place that's going to have tire wear, lots of fall off, multiple grooves. You're going to get to have some fun next time.
Yeah, interesting. We go caution free at Michigan, and here we end up with the opposite. We end up with, I think, our longest green flag run could be 10 or 12 laps.
You guys want to do a poll for the over/under for next week?
How many people?
For how many yellows?
Maybe a little. I don't know.
I think the magic number is 5, and everybody should pick over/under.
The race will probably be 80 laps if I had to guess.
Maybe 4 then.
Say,
depends, because if there's one
under.
late,
I'm
there's
going
going to
under.
be a run. But
And I was right, Kendall. Overtime.
you are right. All right. So we've got 2
Presented by
green-white
FP Design.
checkers, I believe, and yeah, I know that's the Highline rules. 2 green-white checkered. So Snyder will have maybe 1 chance, but maybe 2 chances, and we'll see if Robert Bullens could do anything crazy there from third.
I think if Tyler's smart, he times it so that he passes the 2 car on the last lap, so he doesn't have a lap to get it back.
And will he use the bumper? I'm telling you, at the tail end of that last little restart there, Snyder was lower than Kunman, beat him through the turn, and was going to be set up great for a move into the next turn. And that's when we saw the yellow come out.
The greatest restart of his life, dude.
Yeah, we've seen it. Seen it happen once. Can he do it again?
I mean, Stagner's back up there.
Stagner's there.
Yeah,
Robert
stack up.
Bullens is there.
Anybody could have this.
Stagner blinking a little bit. It's never a good feeling to follow. All right, boys. Green-white checkered. Pace car makes the hard left. When will Kunman go? Will Snyder be able to keep up with him? Kunman got a great launch. You saw it from the angle. Snyder's going to have to drop down.
Bullens also got a great launch. He's going to... I thought he was going to try to make a move. Oh, Stagner gets loose.
Oh, but Snyder came in a little lower and still got a good run on
3 wide fourth if Stagner manages, but he's back now. Okay, back to 2 wide.
Oh, and Kunman.
Oh, they're wrecking.
Kunman.
Oh, there it is. Dylan Smith gets put into the outside wall. We're going overtime racing again.
And this will be the last one this time. Mute me and I'll do it.
Oh. It has been said.
Been a mess.
Next year, this race is going to be a road course.
You know, the Texas infield road course is pretty fun.
No, we're going to Australia, boys. Orem Park.
Oh,
No, we don't want to take
Long
this
Beach
car
would be
there.
entertaining.
Oh no, please no. That track's skinnier than this.
What? But it's fun.
It's a street course.
A race.
Yeah, I think Allen had him.
Snyder just so good.
Yeah, if Tyler had kept with him through 3 and 4, he had a shot, but Allen had him beat.
All right.
Looks like they've got 2 to go. And this is going to be it. So the winner's going to be decided. Of course, Kunman has dominated this race. You'd have to say he deserves the win, but if anybody does deserve to steal it from him, it would probably be Tyler Snyder. But weighing in the back of the mind of Snyder has got to be, I can't throw this race away. I'm the points leader coming in here. I maxed out last week. If I finish second, heck, it's not a bad day.
Well, yeah, but didn't Kunman finish second last week with this tie?
I think he did finish second.
Believe the bonus. Did Kunman lead a lap last week?
A lot of people
Tyler did lead a lap, and last week Tyler
Kunman might have. I don't know. He stayed out sometimes on those cautions. Not
the big thing that would be the 0x bonus points would probably be our tiebreaker.
You know, neither one of those guys has had one tonight.
Yeah, not tonight, but last week might be the difference.
And you know what's crazy? I was just talking with Tyler about this. Is there's no way to manually go in there and add his bonus point, because he was saying that he got a 2x on his burnout that counted on the Dan Lisa. Wouldn't that be crazy if he was second points by 1 point because he did a burnout?
that would hurt. And then got. Yes. Yeah, he was. So he'll get the pole position. Led a lap.
Row
he
is
led
exactly
the most
the
laps,
same.
then he'll get the race win.
No, it's not.
We're coming to the green this time by.
Yeah. So I think he'd take the point lead if he won this and signed up for a second.
Unless Tyler doors him.
Unless Tyler doors him, then they wouldn't have any interest.
Oh,
and Allen with a great
great
jump.
lawn.
Oh,
Pullins
is
now
already
going to be
there.
there. Oh, man, that might be it. Oh, Valley makes a bold move to the bottom.
Yeah, Snyder at this point just got to try to defend for second. We'll see if we can make it back
Snyder
to the
gets
white
loose.
flag.
Oh, hard into the inside wall. Valley
Hang
makes
on
a bold
to it,
move
boys.
on the apron. Fourth.
And Allen coming, or
finally.
He's got
white
one more
flag
lap.
no matter what.
It's Morrissey and Blevins in the 7 car hard on the outside wall.
Nobody's catching this 2-car, boys. He's gone. From the second he hit the gas pedal, he was gone.
Valley dives into turn 3.
You guys see what I mean about Victor, though? That's my little ace in the hole, guys.
Is Alan Cummin's going to win the red, white, and blue 100 here at USA International? As we see Andy Siegel hard across the line, head on. Tyler Snyder second, Robert Pullins third. Victor Valley ends up fourth.
Uh-oh.
And Tyler come over the radio and said that he actually missed a shift a little bit on that last restart. And of all restarts to mess up, he had so many of them tonight. And we'll see if Cunman's going to burn him down over here on the front stretch.
Make sure everyone's across the line, because you don't want to get any issues just like Tyler did.
Michigan's such a wide track. Man, and the more narrow the track, the harder it is to do to burnouts. And man, I know a lot of guys are going to be happy to have this race over with. We saw quite a mess, especially in the back, a couple connection issues. But it's Alan Cunman coming home with the victory tonight in the 2 car. Tyler Snyder second, Robert Pullins third. And we'll try and get a word with these guys as quick as we can.
Alan, You got a copy?
Yeah, man, I got you.
Well, qualified on the pole, dominated the race. Walk us through that from your point of view.
Well, yeah, like I said before the race, the car was beautiful, just beautiful. I wish we had a lot more, green laps there, but man, it is what it is.
I mean, you did a great job. Every restart, you got a great launch. I mean, were you worried about Tyler at all on that last one?
I tell you what, man, Snyder kept the pressure on me all night, so kudos to him. I was worried about him a couple of those restarts. He got to me, especially that one we were side by side, but I wasn't going to give up that lead.
Nah, that one you guys were side by side there for 4 or 5 laps, passing the lead off back and forth. That was some of the most fun short track racing I've certainly seen at this league and overall in iRacing in a while. That was incredible. You guys were definitely putting on a show when we got that little green flag run there.
Yeah, that was that's what we were going for, trying to put on a show for everybody watching. So that's the way short track racing should be,
I mean, obviously you had a lot of cautions tonight. How do you think the racing was aside from that?
I mean, from what I saw, the racing was good. I saw some side by side. I saw some, close quarter, bumper to bumper. I think it went well, other than the cautions, yeah, for sure.
I mean, obviously, congrats on the win. Do you have anyone to thank for this one tonight?
I just wanted to thank y'all for putting this thing on, putting on the broadcast, putting on the league. That's really about it. Everybody for showing up. Everybody, racing hard, showing up every week. I appreciate it. It sucks that it's not the Premier Series, but I mean, I'll take it. A win's a win in this league. These things are so hard to come by, man. Y'all know that. It's so much talent, so much competition in here. So I'll take it.
Win can only build that momentum for Thursday nights, brother man.
Sure, for sure.
Alan, what's your thoughts about going to Atlanta next week?
Bring it on. It's not one of my best tracks, but it's a fun track. If it gets hot enough, the track will be slick. We'll be burning tires and we'll be slipping and sliding. So I say bring it on.
They're really, really fun to drive in these cars. I think it'll play into your hands pretty well with your driving style. So great win, Alan. I'm sure we'll talk with you soon, and just go enjoy this win. You deserved it.
And I appreciate it.
Right, that's Alan Kunman, Highline Motorsports driver number 2 tonight, and man, he was number 1. I think he led all but one lap that Snyder was able to get by just a couple inches. And speaking of Snyder, let's bring him in here. Dylan, you want him?
Yeah, I'll take him.
Get him unmuted, and it's good to go.
Alrighty, Tyler.
Yes, sir.
Not quite as good as last week. Certainly exciting. You guys were side by side for a few laps there and really put on a hell of a show for us. What do you think about how everything went down tonight?
Well, we sadly ran a lot more caution laps than we did green flag laps, but a couple laps we did get in were a good time. Racing with Alan there, he's just so dang fast on these short tracks, man. It's hard to beat.
Yeah, it definitely seemed like he's so good on the restart. And first of all, trying to keep up, and not have somebody get underneath you and ruin your line, and then also trying to keep up with him while you're not in the preferred line there is pretty intense. But you got pretty good at it there for a while, man. You were making some stuff happen in that middle groove. You got any like tips or anything on how you were doing that? Because I couldn't figure out how to get the car to handle that high up the track. I wasn't turning as well when I got that far off the bottom.
Well, to be honest with you, on those restarts, when I kept getting to Alan's outside, I think he was really underdriving the entry, and I was trying to take advantage of that. And there's a couple times where I was kind of barely able to hang it to his outside, but he was just too good. I tried pinching him as hard as I could, and man, he just was too fast. I couldn't keep it out there for too long, and just ended up driving away. But no, I don't know how I got to stick up there. I just kind of drove it in deep, stopped in the center, and tried to get it to turn down.
Well, Tyler, I wanted to ask you, I heard you come across the radio and say you might have missed a shift on that last restart. Is that what happened?
Yeah, that last restart, I was really focused in on trying to, time it right with Alan, and second gear in these cars seems to be really short compared to all the other cars, so I just kind of got it locked in second, or trying to go from second to third. I just kind of fumbled a little bit and didn't quite get it going that well, but I don't think it would have mattered. I think Alan was too good.
Well, Tyler, you got anybody you want to thank for second place tonight? I think you should come out of here the points leader still, but it's going to be close with Alan.
Yeah, I think I got a lap lead in there on him, so hopefully. But yeah, no, definitely I got to thank you guys for putting this thing on. Body Shops, Dylan, painting me some beautiful race cars, sponsored me, so big thanks to him. The Coney Setup Shop. We got a lot of great partners in this league, so just thanks to all those guys. Thanks to
yeah,
y'all.
Tyler, I forgot to tell you,
Thanks to
Kendall
Dylan.
gave away your trade secret on the broadcast tonight. So if you see a lot of people driving to the blind spot of the leader to get their sponsor on television, just know it's his fault.
Dang it, Kendall.
I like the strategy, though. I definitely copy on that one.
It doesn't help if the whole field's doing it, though, Kendall.
Yeah.
All right, Tyler. Well, we'll see you, and I'm sure we'll talk with you soon. Great run out there tonight. Wish we could have had a more of a green flag run there at the end to see what you could have had for Alan, but don't hold your head too low. It was a great run.
Yeah, thank
Awesome
you guys.
run, bud.
Appreciate it.
The car looked great.
Of course.
All right, let's get Robert Pullins in here. Jackson, you want him?
Robert Pullins, the Highline Media booth. You got a copy?
Yes, sir.
Well, you finished third tonight. Some beating and banging to get you there, but how'd that race go from your point of view?
No, I definitely didn't qualify where I wanted to, but was able to work my way through the field. Good pit strategy. I just hate that I bumped Caleb out the way there and wrecked him with 20 to go.
Yeah, it was unfortunate circumstances, but tight racing on a small track. Obviously, you did a great job tonight, starting from 14th, drove your way all the way up to third. How'd the car feel?
The car felt great. It drove in well, turned in the middle of the corner, and you could just jam the gas 3/4 of the way off and didn't have to worry about it. Definitely a great setup.
Well, that's always good to hear. Obviously, the series moves to Atlanta next week. Good about that.
I'm excited. Go to Atlanta, bigger track. We'll see a little more varying strategy from everybody, and we'll really see who stands out here in this league.
Yeah, I just want to say, Robert, awesome job tonight. I mean, you were in the back, you were in the middle, you were in the front, you were around the mayhem, you were away from the mayhem, but no matter what, you kept it in there, man, and you brought that thing home up front. Great job tonight.
I appreciate it. I did the best to avoid all of it I could. Got a little dense, but not enough to affect the car.
And
No,
man,
the
short
car
track like
looks
this,
great.
it looks pretty good to me.
Yeah, we're looking at it on the broadcast right now. It looks great. Robert, I know the next time we'll probably talk to you is heading into Daytona, but you got anybody you want to thank for third place tonight?
I tell you what, my sponsor, Butt Kicker, I appreciate them. And, I just want to thank everyone that's tuning in to us, watching us. Glad my mom's watching. Know she's having a hard time right now. I just want to know that I love her and I appreciate her support, and I'm there with her.
Hey,
Well,
so
Robert,
are-
we
so are
appreciate
sir.
we appreciate you being a part of the league. We love everybody in this league, just like a brother, and hope that y'all keep coming back for a really long time to come. Great run out there, Robert, and I'm sure we'll talk with you very soon, buddy.
Yes, sir. Y'all have a good one.
Who would have thought with Michigan and Lakeland that the same two drivers would be almost tied in our points standings for the lead after almost identical races, like first and second, one led almost everything. It's incredible. Like, I would have never expected this. What is the rest of this season gonna hold, guys? We've got a hell of a schedule ahead of us, and this thing might get wild.
Yeah, for sure. You hit the nail on the head between Kunman and Snyder, and I'm sure there's going to be some other guys that are going to want to throw their name in the hat after we go to Atlanta on the Roval, 2 more very different tracks before we get to the halfway point in the schedule.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to Atlanta, at least from being up here, because I think you might bring a lot of these guys that haven't really wanted to race. I could see your Curtis Granger's going out there for one of his 2 races, or somebody else, or some of these other guys that aren't really allowed to race, where I think you're going to see Atlanta as the first one where a lot of those other guys start to show up.
I know if it's possible, that's one of the races I'd love to get behind the wheel myself. Me and Toby might have to discuss that. But let's go through the finishing order one more time if we can. Toby, can you pull that up? It's all right. Alan Kunman picks up the win tonight. Tyler Snyder finishes second. Of course, we talked to Robert Pullins there. He finished third. Nice run for Victor Valley. Stayed out of everyone's way. I think he'll go home regretting the fact he didn't give it quite so much aggression, but obviously not wanting to make any enemies, but a great premier run for Victor Valley. Andrew Baker, another solid run for him, finishes fifth. Sixth place goes to Jeff Gross. Nice run for the 22 car. Steve Rada brought it home seventh. Eighth place was Ryan Potter. Saw him around a couple of times and got a good finish out of it. Dylan Smith comes down from, I believe, 2 laps to finish ninth. And is that Bucky Burt 10th? My goodness.
It sure is.
What?
He came back.
That is an incredible.
And I just want to say, shout out to my man, Dylan Poteet, was upside down and brought that thing back to 11th place. Attaboy, Dylan.
12th spot was Caleb Morrissey. 13th, Andrew Siegel. Saw him with that great save early. 14th was Corey Blevins. 15th, DJ Stagner. 16th was Cody Robinson. 17th, Carl Faust. 18th, Adam Bossy. 19th was Trevor Hook. 20th was Brad Kress. We saw him with connection issues, but fast early. 21st, Jeff Moresh. And 22nd, Danny Chandler. That's your finishing order for USA International Speedway. We appreciate all the fans at home joining us. Once again, this was a production of the Highline Media Network. We'll be back next week from Atlanta. And don't forget to tune into Max Speed TV 2 days from now to watch our premiere series battle it out at the high banks of Daytona. Good night, everybody.